What's going on, everyone? Another podcast. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just knock out the family tree of the Andre family. So next week will be
the best one.
Your mom, and then the one after that will be your brother if he ever shows up and doesn't get in a car accident or whatever. His G-Wagon doesn't break down, and then we'll make your grandmother come in here because say we're giving her free lunch, and then she'll be like, "Why is there a camera?" And then what is this in my face? You know what I mean?
Sweetie.
Oh, sweetie.
I'll tell you all my secrets.
Man, your grandmother stole a lead from me one time at an open house. Swear to God, she walked in. There's these people in there, and she was just like, "Oh, hey, so-and-so, I'm listing a house down the street. Come check it out." And I'm like,
bet. That sounds like her.
I'm like, and you know what's funny? I didn't think she even meant it that way. She's just like, "Oh, I know these people."
No, she did. She did.
Savage mode.
She is.
Savage mode. How does it feel growing up in a real... my family, no one's in real estate. I don't know anyone in real estate. But how do you feel growing up in a real estate family? Do you feel like... Oh, sorry, people in this backstory. So her dad's a title rep. Her mom's an agent. Your grandmother was an agent. Your brother's a title rep.
My aunt's an agent. My uncle's a lender. My little cousin's an agent / lender. I mean, my whole family's in it. So, for me growing up in it, I told my mom, I was like, I'm not going to be a realtor. I'm not going to do this. Look what I'm doing. I'm a realtor just like her. It's crazy because I find myself, I can't get away from it. Like, we'll be at a Thanksgiving dinner and we're talking about a deal that fell out of escrow a week ago. It's like, do we need to do this? You don't
have anything else to talk about.
No.
Let's get over it.
Yeah, nothing else to talk about.
Yeah.
So I have like a 2-hour time limit with my parents. Love them to death. But after that, I'm like, I'm done talking about work. I'm done talking about, the industry. I'm good,
Does it suck for you because, in this industry, it's so funny. It's like anytime someone's doing well, it's always like, oh, someone's this, or oh, they're on a team, or oh, like it's crazy to think that people think your mom gives you all your business. Like I know that's probably something someone's told you.
Yeah.
Like how do you handle those aspects of being from that type of family?
Yeah, so I do get that quite often. People tell me all the time, like, you're fed leads, and it's like, okay, bet. I mean, I might have gotten some from Zillow or whatever, but at the end of the day,
fed leads. Can
you close them?
Yeah,
that's the deal. Like, I'm at the end of the day, like I've gotten a lot from both my mom and dad. My dad, you know how he is. I would say he's a shark to 100%.
Yeah.
My mom's more. Her approach is
your
more.
Dad's such a bullshitter. It's unbelievable. Like, he's so funny. He'll be like, yeah, I was in the office on Saturday. Oh, okay. Yeah, you were. I go every Saturday. Oh, okay.
He does, though. Like, I swear
maybe it's the way he says it. I just don't believe anything he says.
It's like one of those things, like somebody, like, they say such crazy things that you're like, is this even honest?
He's like, I always love when he's like, I got to take this work call. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you're like, all right.
Yeah, sure.
We know it's Grandma Dolly.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Chill. No, but, I feel like anybody who says that, like, at the end of the day, Adam, I don't care what people think about me because that's not my opinion. Their opinion is not always valid, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if they feel that, then cool, bet. But I know what I've done. I know the work I've put in, and the results show. So people, like I told you, like, people are just gonna be bitter and say whatever they want, and that's cool. At the end of the day, only you know what you've done. So, but my mom, I will give her a big shout out because she did help me very early on. I called her. I'm not even kidding you, like 18 times a day.
Oh yeah.
Mom, what do I do? How do I talk to this client?
It's hard.
She taught me a lot of good lessons though. Like, she really did. And the lessons that I think new agents need to hear. Like, for instance, there's going to be people that will waste your time. There's going to be people that you need to learn to cut it while it's like, you feel that they're kind of dragging you along because it takes room from the good things that are going to be happening.
I think that's the hard part when you're a new agent. You're so worried about having a deep list of buyers and sellers. And at the end of the day, not everyone's a buyer and not everyone's a seller.
Right.
I think that's the thing that I've done over the years pretty well. Like, if you can't get your paperwork to my lender, I'm not showing you houses.
Yes.
And you might buy a house 8 months from now. But you know what? Like, in that moment in time, you weren't a buyer, and I couldn't waste my time on you. Same thing with sellers. Like, we're going in a different market now. Like, I got to have a hard conversation with a seller today where we're just getting no showings. But I know they don't want to do a price drop. And I'm going to have the conversation like, you know what? Listen, like, the market has shifted in a place where we're not going to probably sell at the price you want.
Yeah. So
we have a choice. We can stay where we're at. We can do a price drop, which you guys have, or a price adjustment, which you've told me you don't want to do, or we just go off the market. And those are the conversations that probably when you're a new agent or whatever, like, you're having hard conversations as a realtor that no one believes they're going to have until they're in real estate.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to take a deposit. I'm taking a deposit right now. Do you think as a listing agent, I ever want to do that? Put somebody in that position? No. But I never saw myself having to do that until now I'm in it. I'm like, this doesn't feel good, but I have to represent my client. So luckily I'm blessed.
No, I'm a savage.
Oh yeah.
I've
learned to be, but I'm so blessed that I have last year I had quite a few just fucked up files. Yeah. Just fucked up. And it taught me how to
It's the only way you learn.
So let me ask you this. So you're the complete opposite in the sense of I came from a family full of realtors. You came from a family of no realtors. So did you get a lot of sphere of influence, business, friends, family? No,
I didn't do one deal. Like my book of business is people who kind of know me. That's it. Because I was gone for 10 years. So I don't have any close friends and family. My family's super small. Mm-hmm. I have one sister. My brother's a realtor. Mm-hmm. I have my parents, and that's it. Mm-hmm. I have no other family. Like, I have an aunt that lives in Vegas. Like, my dad's an only child. My mom has one kid. Like, that's it. So I don't have a lot of family business that comes in. So my business has strictly been from me going out and getting it. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what's so funny is, like, something I have to control myself. Like, I'll see someone popping off on Instagram really hard. Mm-hmm. I'm like, damn, they're fucking crushing it. Like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
You know? Even though I'm established agent, I'll do 40-something deals this year. And but even though I'm like, dang. And then you find out, like, you talk to that person or whatever, and it's like, oh, that was my mom. And then she sold and bought. And then that was my cousin who bought. And then 8 months later, they're like hitting me up like, yo, how do I do business? It's like, what happened? Oh, I burned through my book, like family. So for me, all my business has been from social media for the most part. And it's just a lot of people just who maybe I went to high school with them. Maybe we were a few years apart. Like, you know, that is the biggest thing for me. How I think every agent survives in their book of business is like online leads are great. They're hard as can be. They take a lot of effort. But it's like if you can just tap into the people who kind of know you. Like if I met you once, you'll get on my social media platform, and then like my goal is to stay in front of you the whole time.
Yeah.
That's really, but then I also know like if your mom's cousin's a realtor, you're going to get that deal. Like she's going to get that deal over me. Like I'm not worried about that.
Right.
You know, but I don't want to go door knock, and I don't want to cold call, and I don't want to buy leads, and I don't want a postcard, and I don't want to do any of that stuff.
Right.
And maybe I could do 10 more deals a year, but I would be miserable. So I don't do it.
Yeah, you got to find that like happy medium of like, okay, if I do this amount of deals, I can live my life still and be, have fun, do what I want to do. But going back to social media, because I would say I don't have as big of a presence as you, because I know you want to say that.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that I try to get mad at people like that. Sometimes I feel like I'm too, like sometimes sometimes I wish I wasn't as big. My engagement's not as good.
Yeah.
Like because I have so many followers. So the algorithm says like, oh, not as people want to see his stuff because my followers are from all aspects. They're not just real estate.
Right.
So for me, sometimes I wish I was smaller. Like everyone goes, how do you get more followers? Who gives a shit about followers? It's how do you take care of the followers you currently have anyways.
Right. But what I'm getting to is with social media, a lot of that shit, a lot of these agents, it's fake. Like
100%.
You'll see, my new listing, but is it really yours? Or is it somebody in your office?
Well, for sure. But I do that with my team. My team,
right.
And that's how you're supposed to play the game. If you're working in an office, you better be, and especially if you're a new agent, you should be sharing content that's not yours. Like, that's what I did when I was first new. Like, I every time Rob listed something, it was my listing. Every time he sold something, I sold something. That's what you're there to use a team. And that's why I think moving forward as a new agent, that is the benefit of being on a team. Because if you work for an office, say you work for Coldwell Banker, and the broker doesn't do any deals, you're not gonna take Shannon's or whoever's listing that you don't even barely know in the office, like, because some agents would be pissed that you did that.
Yeah.
So that's the benefit of being on a team, is that you get to leverage your agent's person you work for, their business, so that it makes you look like you have business, and then people want to work with people that have done business.
I think that's what I'm so grateful for. I started with another team, and nothing bad to say. It just didn't work for me. It wasn't for me. But I'm so grateful for the opportunities I have received from AG because, and Steven especially. I mean, Steven, he has given me opportunities that I could never have imagined. And, like I said, just because he gave some to me does not mean
for sure
you can close them, does not mean you could deal with the transaction. And, we have a very, I'm sure like a tight-knit team where there's no jealousy, there's no competition. I mean, little small competition, but nothing like, oh, if they're beating me, I'm like,
I think
pissed off.
that's the thing that a lot of agents make, is that it's all about them, when it's like you can't compete now as you. It's impossible. Like, it just can't be done, because you're just competing against too many big teams now.
Yeah.
But I also think if you're on the wrong team, you're on the wrong team. Like, when we had Jessica, my new agent, who's here. The first question I always ask every agent, like, do you want to be on camera? And if they say no, I say, okay, well, this isn't going to work for you here.
Yeah.
And they go, like, why? Because I'm like, I don't buy leads. I'm going to teach you how to grow your online platform to work with people that are going to be better leads.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to do video, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think social media, I have gotten quite a few leads off social media. And, going back to what you had said about, if somebody has an aunt that's a realtor, they're going to use that aunt. Not necessarily, because I have people that I know for a fact follow 5 or 6 agents, right?
But are they family?
Some of them, yeah.
But they're not good family.
They might. Here's the thing I learned coming from love my family. Do I want to do business with them? Maybe not. Sometimes doing business with family is kind of I guess
the difference is real estate.
Yeah.
So like what can and cannot happen. But I would say most people will always use the person closest to them that they trust. I mean, the reason why they use someone else is maybe they just don't just because someone's their aunt doesn't mean they talk to that person a lot. You know what I mean? But if it's someone that they're or their mom's best friend. I mean, I've lost deals like that. I sold someone a house, then maybe like 2-3 years later they sell with someone else. I look how the dude's like 80, or you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, must be like somehow they're not randomly clicking on a guy that does 3 deals a year on Zillow and then you selling to him. It's like that guy somehow connected to them somehow, But that's just part of the game. I think that's the other hard part about real estate, is that even the people you think would use you sometimes don't use you.
Right.
It's just, and if other people are in real estate and they know the same friends how do you compete and let them know that, like, you're the best realtor? It takes a lot of work.
That's what I'm saying. Just, I think being consistent on social media. Reels, like I know you do the reels, but you probably see like the views that you get. I posted a reel of Steven's birthday the other day. 3,000 views.
I know.
Why? Don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But I do get a lot of business from just my posting, just being aggressive in terms of tagging and where I'm at. But yeah, I mean, I see a lot of agents, and I think, like, for instance, love my mom, but she still has an AOL. She doesn't do she doesn't do.
But she doesn't have to.
And this is what she told me. If she was sitting right here, she'd be like, "Well, I've never been hacked," so that's her comeback. But for her, why it's harder for a lot of these older agents to compete and stay up to date is because, but they have their book of business, most of them, but it's really hard for them to understand the social media part of it. And we are gearing towards millennials. We're gearing towards, the younger generation. That's how they find their people that they're going to work with.
Well, I think they want to work. What really I feel like it's been like Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and all that stuff. It's like it's still all high school. People want to work with the cool kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like when people think you're cool, they're going to want to work with you. And then, but even then you have to still provide good service. I think that's the one thing I hate with most like coaches, like Tom and Mike and Defini and all those other guys, Brian, is that at the end of the day, they teach you how to market, but you need more. You actually have to know what you're doing too.
Right.
Like that's where I think every agent makes that mistake. They never take the time in the beginning to actually learn how the transaction works, learn step by step how it works, how to actually educate a client, how to actually that's why I love doing. We were talking with my new agent. This is why I love doing news reels about real estate, because then when someone asks you a question about real estate, you can answer it.
Yeah. Because
you just shot a video about it. And so that's also going to help you convert the leads.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people that get Zillow leads. And I just think that's the other thing. Oh, I just want to buy Zillow leads. Well, they're expensive and they're 1 to 3% conversion rate. So good luck.
Are. Yeah, they are.
And it gets tiring, man. Like I'm not, like I've told people, I'm not an online lead agent.
Right.
You got 3 calls out of me.
Right.
If I'm past 3 calls, I ain't calling you ever again.
And I think for me, that's where my escrow, I'm so grateful to have escrow experience. And I really learned escrow. I wasn't just a receptionist. Like I really worked my way to the top. And then I just,
So why do you leave escrow?
I got to the point of where I was cutting agents' checks.
Oh, you
and
saw
I
the
was
checks?
like, if this person can do it, I definitely can do it. Like, no way. And so I sat in my little escrow chair and I was like, you know what? Just like how you spoke your affirmations, I said, I'm going to be an agent and I'm going to be a top agent. And I had a lot of people like tell me maybe you should stay in escrow. I mean, honestly, they were just like concerned, you know, they want you to be safe and, you know, stay where it's comfortable. But I mean, nothing good comes out of your comfort zone. So I took a risk and I went in full time, because actually I'm really blessed in the beginning, because the office I was at, I was going to do part-time. And the manager told me, he said, you are not going to get any Zillow leads. You're not going to get any leads, if anything like that, if you're part-time.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, I have to go in full-time. And at the time, you know, I had a little bit of, you know, cushion, some savings, but, you know, quickly you realize
it goes away real fast.
Bills come through and, you know, life hits, Christmas is around the corner. It's like, fuck. Like, so in the beginning, I applied, you know, the things that my mom taught me, like cold calling, door hangers, and I got my first listing off a cold call.
Yeah, that's the thing I hate when people go like, oh, well, I've been cold calling. Dude, I'm not saying it doesn't work.
Yeah,
it works. Postcarding does work. Door knocking does work. I hate when people go like, oh, you say it doesn't work. Like, I'll do a panel and I'm like, and I'll say something. Someone's like, but I've been door knocking for cool, great, that's awesome, great. It probably works for you. I'm just saying overall. Dollar for dollar per time spent, I will do more money per time than you will do yours. That's all I'm saying. Right. So that's what I try. Like, it's like the hard part with social is it's just it's uncrackable. Like, there's no rhyme or reason. Like, yeah, you can maybe kind of find out the algorithm, and it's very discouraging. Like, it takes a lot of time. Put yourself out there, create a post, and then no one likes it or doesn't get the view. And then, like, sometimes I'm like, that reel got 3,000 views. That one got 600. What was the difference? I don't know. Was it the thumbnail? Was it this? Was it that? Consistency with the hashtags, with everything. Because I remember at one point when Instagram, a couple months ago, I remember when the algorithm switched. Oh, it slowed down. Right when Facebook stock went down, all of a sudden it's like, they're like, all right, start paying to play, babe. And that's fine too. Like, I also don't complain about that. Like, you're gonna have to pay to play. You should be running ads on Instagram and Facebook. You should be doing. It's a free platform. You're making tons of money off of it. It should. If you want the most views, you're gonna have to pay for it. It's understandable, right? You know. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm excited. Are you nervous with what the market's doing or no? Yes. Honestly, I mean, I would be. Yeah, I'd lie if I said I'm not nervous. I'm super excited. But I talked to my dad, because I call my dad a lot. I know he loves to talk. He's great on podcasts. He is, but I call him because I sometimes need motivation. Even me, I need motivation. I think we all do. Yeah, and so he told me, he's like, what you just said, you should be excited for this market, because this is going to bring out the real players. Yeah. It really is, because honestly, I lived through the last crash with my mom. I saw it. I had family lose everything. So my mom taught me a lot of valuable lessons. Save your money, pay your taxes, always make sure all that is done. And so I'm grateful that I was taught the right way to do things, because when the market does shift, and it is shifting, I'm noticing under 5 is still hot. Dude, I sold that 2-1 in downtown for $75 in one weekend. Oh yeah, my condo in Riverside, it was listed at $445. The highest offer we have is $480. See, that's the thing. When people go, I want to sell $1 million listings. The $1 million listings are the ones that are going to sit on the market, because rents are so high right now that it's going to be the same cost it is to rent that is to own a $500,000 house. Exactly. That's what's so great about Moreno Valley, Riverside. Like, this market is that, like, we will always have buyers. Right. We will always have people that want to buy in this market, especially because the rents are so high. This is still a market you can buy and pay about the same you would pay renting. Do you find it frustrating? Because this is like, I'm very patient, but the one thing I do find very frustrating is trying to explain math to some of these buyers, and they're like, renting versus owning, they just don't get it. And I'm like, I would much rather, so my mortgage payment's $1,500, and I have a 3-bedroom condo. A 3-bedroom right now is running for easily, what do you think, 32, 35? I'm a renter, so I love renting. 32 to 35 though? I pay, in my building, a 3-bedroom would probably be like 28, maybe 29. Okay. I mean, fair enough, but still. Yeah, no. Compared to $1,500, for sure. That's not I think the hard part that you're comparing is when you bought 2 years ago. Yeah. €2 and your rate's probably 2.2, 2.5. But even now, still. So now you're at, what'd you buy your place for? I bought it for $330. $330. So now it's probably $430. I would say around there. So $430. Oh, hold on. Let's run these numbers really quick. Live real estate right here.
Yeah, let's get it.
430. Don't allow. 430. What'd you put down?
20%.
20%. So 430 at, oh, why is that not working? Come on. Oh, that's why. 430, 20% down. What the heck? 430 at 5.5% right now. What's your HOA?
375.
Okay. So someone's monthly payment is, hold on, 375. Why is that not working? 375. Okay. Your monthly payment is $2,900 now. So it's the same. So there's my argument. So exactly. So there's your issue. So it's 29. Mm-hmm. So $2,900 a month. So basically you're paying for rent, and you're gonna be 90. You're gonna be 100K out of pocket. So that's my argument not to buy. For me as a business owner, I'd rather have that $100,000 in the bank, especially going into this market, because I'm a business owner.
Right.
So I like having cash. Like I don't care about housing. Mm-hmm. I don't get warm and fuzzy when I walk into houses. I don't care. Yeah. I've never walked in a house that I loved, and I've shown probably like 500-700 houses. Mm-hmm. I've never walked in one where I was like, oh my God, I love this house. I have to live here. I've never felt that. And one day when I do feel it, maybe I will. But for right now, I like having money in the bank because it makes me feel comfortable.
True.
I'm excited. Yeah. So for me, but I don't think that's not for everyone. The reason why I say buying a house is stupid, and realtors hate me because I say that, I say it because I want to be different than every other realtor. Just like the video I shot here before you were like, the 3 reasons to buy and 3 reasons not to buy. I want people to know why you shouldn't or should, not just it's a great time to buy. It's a great time to sell. Like that's the mistake that realtors make, is that why is it a great time for someone to buy and why is it a great time for someone to sell? Because those reasons are always different. They're not the same. They're different, and we need to market to those people, and hopefully you make a video, because no one cares about money. There's a mistake you're also making. No one cares about money.
No.
So we always push money to everyone. How much money you're going to save, how much money you're going to make. Mm-hmm. But like that doesn't matter to anyone. I would say like a buyer that maybe has a kid. Be like, are you really wanting your kid to jump from house to house to house and school district and school district? Yeah. No, you don't. You want that person to have a secure location where you can grow your family and have some stableness in their lives. Yeah. That's why someone's going to buy. Not because rates are 3.5% and they can get a condo for cheap. Yeah. That's the difference. Same thing with selling. Oh, you have so much equity. No one cares. No one cares how much equity they have. Get over it, people. No one cares. But they want to say they do because they want to ask you, what's the market doing? Okay, first question. When someone asks you how the market, what do you say?
I'm honest. I'm always an honest agent. I say, if you were to ask me this 3 months ago, are we talking about a buyer or seller?
No, you know what I say? I'm a coach now. You know what I say? Are you looking to buy or sell? No. Then why do you care? That's my second question. That's my question. How's the market doing? So you're thinking about buying or selling? Because I need to know, because that's going to determine my answer. Right. And then they go, oh, I'm not, like, neither. Okay, then why do you care? You don't care. Yeah. You just want to think. If I said the market's amazing, are you going to sell? No. If I say the market's tanking, are you going to sell? No. Okay, then. Then let's just move on, and let's not talk real estate, and don't take up 5 minutes of my time for no reason. Yeah. But realtors go like, yes, the market is great right now.
Like, let me get my mic.
Yeah, what's your address? I can send you a free CNA tomorrow. No. They don't care. It's just, I think the thing is that it's like focus on the ones that actually want to buy and sell, because then you can give them great service, and when you give them great service, then they'll refer you more business and 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 you got to lose control too. I think the hard part for me is like explaining to clients where it's like you can't, like, no one's looking to buy. Like if in the crazy buyer's market or crazy seller market, I can't get your offer accepted. I'm sorry. Like, you don't make enough money. Yeah. You're not waiving appraisal. I'm sorry. Like, and it sucks. They're like, my cousin says, I've had that line all the time. Oh, my cousin said they can get me a house. You know what? Best of luck to you. Yeah. I wish you the best. If you truly think they can get you a house, I'd love for you to get a house.
What I always tell them is, well, I mean, is your cousin a realtor or is your cousin a professional? 9 times out of 10. Well, no. I say, okay, I'm the professional. I'm the one that's advising you what the market. Take whatever I have to say, take it or not. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna just let you know that, like the other day, some guy hit me up and he said he has a $1,200 mortgage payment. He's like, I want to sell, but I want that same payment. That's and I impossible. Said, that's exactly what I told him. I said, then keep hold on to your home. You know, honestly, any other agent could have fucked him over and said, yeah, sell, I can do that for you, and then got into the deal and bait and switch. I don't do that.
See, that's the thing too, is like, why do people lie? That's the one thing that's different about real estate than, like, say, a doctor. Like, and when you go to the hospital and you have something wrong with you, you're not going to a specialist, you're going to just a general doctor. And then that general doctor pushes you to a specialist, and then that specialist tells you what they think about you and your treatment. And then, you know, most people say, hey, go get a second opinion if you don't like the answer.
Right.
The problem what people don't get in real estate, because they want to use the same aspect of the same, it's like the problem is the person you're going to get your second opinion by will only makes money if they steal you. So they might just tell you whatever you want to hear just to get the deal.
Right.
You know, I think that's like, you know, I look at everything like relationships. It's like if you're talking to a girl and you're a guy and they said everything they hate about their ex-boyfriend, even if you're everything they say that their ex-boyfriend, you're going to say, I would never do that. I like this. I love dogs even though I'm allergic.
Yeah.
You know, I love cats. You know what I mean? But because they don't care, because they're just telling you what you want to hear. And that's the problem with real estate.
And not only just real estate, in life too. Like, I find that, I mean, just to kind of get off real estate, kind of make it a little interesting. Like, people...
Don't go down your crazy train, all right? This isn't your podcast.
I'm not going to go down my crazy train trust me. But people, I don't get it because I went through a little lying phase when I was like 11, 12. And my mom literally popped me right out of that. She's like, I don't fucking like liars. Do not lie. So from there on out, I'm scared to death to lie. I don't get how people live their lives just being delusional. And a lot of these people that walk into open houses, I feel for them because they'll bring their kids and I'll see like, I know this isn't like, they can't do this. You know what I mean? They can't buy this house because they'll tell me their finances, whatever. And it's sad because it's like, I would much rather be honest with not only my family, my friends, with myself. Yeah. You know, there's no reason to lie. Why live like that? Yeah. I don't get that.
I think it's crazy too. Like, it's sad because I think that's the thing that people don't get is like you get so emotional in this job because you get so connected to these people. Yeah. And even the people that you don't even know, like I think that's the thing you don't even know. Like say like kind of like thing like walk into a house. Like I've had families walk into a house and them just be like, hey, like this, and me just being like, this is gonna go like 50 above. Like and you know, because I had ask questions like how much money you got down and put down or whatever, and I'm like, that's just not happening. Yeah. And I'm sorry, like, and it's so sad. Like they're never gonna be able to buy a house, and that's something too. Like that I kind of hate California. It's like they want to do all this affordable housing. Maybe just you're not meant to own a house in California. Mm-hmm. Maybe you need to move. Yeah. Like not everyone should be gifted in owning a house in Southern California. In my opinion, the greatest part of the United States. Mm-hmm. Not everyone's meant to live here. Yeah. I'm sorry, but it's like one of those things where it's not the moment you're living in. It's all the small decisions to be where the moment you're at. And that's hard. Like I have clients who are like, your credit's 550, dude. Yeah. Like you have 3 car debts. You have delinquently payment. Like, what do you want me to do?
And it's hard because I feel, so I'm like an empath, right? So like when I get around people and they get really in their feelings, like it drains me because truly when they're going through stuff, I'm going through it with them.
Yeah, it's hard.
All the way through. And I find myself very drained. And honestly, I don't know if, you're feeling this too on your end, but I feel like this market right now is very draining because a lot of these deals are just fucked up.
I've been drained since 2020, man. Like I swear, like I love the line when people hit me with the must be nice to be in real estate, and I just light them up. I've lit up so many people in the last 2 years about must be nice to be in real estate, and I'm like, the 20 buyers that I've ran around for 6 months that ended up never buying, that I never made a dime off, and the 7 listings I put on the market got.
And 30. We don't get paid, guys, for showing you homes. Like I know you guys think we're salary. We're not. Like we don't get paid for that.
Yeah, and then like the 7 houses I sold above asking price, and then like the first hiccup, my client's like, I actually didn't even want to sell it. Like take it off the market. You know what I mean? And the funny part about it, what people don't understand is like I could technically sue that person for my commission. I technically could. But what the good would come from that? That's not good business model. And so I think that's the thing that people don't understand is like it's so, and what's crazy is it's only going to get worse. Yeah. Like now we're going to have the conversations like every listing you go into is going to be fighting on price drops if they're going down, fighting for commission. Buyers are leaving the market because they can't afford it. So it's harder to find buyers. Like it's just not going to be an easy market anytime soon. I feel bad for agents that get in now. Like I tell agents, brand new agent, how do I do this? Bro, you just got it the wrong time.
Yeah.
This is hard. I'm barely like I'm doing all right, but it's still a struggle. Like,
oh yeah, and I have people hit me up all the time.
Oh, I want to get in real estate.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you have to do? You have to work your fucking ass off. Treat it like it is a 9 to or 8 to 5. Because I
think it's more than that. I mean, I worked when I was also homeless when I first got into real estate. So I mean, I was working from 7 a.m. to like 9 at night every day.
Well, but that's the thing. Like,
I was homeless.
There's a lot of people who they don't want to go into the office. I think it is so important.
Every agent should go in the office every single day.
Mm-hmm. Every day.
Every top producer goes to the office.
Yeah.
Other than agents that have been doing it for like 20, 30 years that just work on book of business, those agents, yes, they might be out, but real producers are in the office every day.
And then people get pissed when I tell them that.
If you do not want to go to the office every day, do not become a real estate agent. You need to be there every day because you have no idea what you're doing, and you just need to hear. You need to be around it. You need to be you need to be around real estate.
Yeah.
Like, I breathe real estate. Literally, I'll be driving and I'll think of a video idea and I'll like stop, pull off to the side of the road, and text the video idea on my phone.
Yeah.
Like, even when I'm driving, not even talking about real estate, I'm like, oh, that's a great real estate video. I should probably post. Like, I'm always thinking about it, you know? Like, that's the thing that, like, I try to tell people. It's a 24/7 job. Because here's the thing. The average American makes, I think, like 84 grand. No, 56 grand, whatever. If you want to make 2 times that, or 3 times that, or 5 times that, or 10 times that, whatever you want to make, how do you think you're going to do that working 20 hours a week?
Well, and the one thing my dad, he always told me, it lives rent-free in my mind. He said, being successful comes with sacrifice.
Yeah, cost of the price.
Sacrifice relationships, sacrifice friendships. Like, for me, I'm 26 years old, and I have a very small friend group of people that are motivating, want better for themselves, for me. But I find it very hard, even dating too, like very hard to find somebody or find people that are genuinely want better for themselves. Yeah. It's hard.
It's very hard. I think it's at any age. It gets harder too at my age. I'm 34. Hard part is like now that my age, like now I'm dealing with people that has gone through trauma. Yeah. And they're affected by that. And now it's like, no, like this, and so I think that's the thing too, is that it's like you go from, a lot of people always ask me why I have 2 phones. And the reason I have 2 phones is because what people don't understand, for me personally, when my phone is ringing and it's a client, there's a problem.
Yeah.
It's always a problem. It's always someone needs something. Even my friends call me, like my buddy Yazin. Nothing against him, Yazin. What up? He owns a he's gonna get mad. I'm not gonna call it a gym. A fitness center? No, fitness wall center. Anyways, I don't know what it's called. I always call it a gym. He gets mad. But anyways, like he needs an employee. So he's like, yo, bro, like, could you share my post? Like, my phone rings. It's always someone needs something.
Yeah.
Always. And so the reason I have a work phone is because like I sometimes just need a break of no one needing something from me. It's draining.
Maybe I need to do that because like I feel the same way. Like I feel sometimes like you just know the person that's gonna call you, like that's gonna fucking like just be a time like a drainer. Like I call them energy vampires because it's true. Like I find myself like, fuck, like I need to carve out 30 minutes of my day to talk to this person. It's just like,
I think the one thing, a lesson learned from anyone who's ever going to do a real estate transaction as a buyer or seller, if you're a bigger pain in the ass, you don't get what you want. Everyone just lies to you or doesn't call you back.
Yep.
I want everyone to know that. Like, if you are a big pain, if you're the seller that's always blowing up your agent and you're yelling at them and you're pissed off and you have no respect for them or their time, they're just going to lie to you because they don't want to tell you bad news.
Yeah.
Because they just don't want to hear it. Or they're just not going to call you.
Yeah.
And because at the end of the day, we don't get sold. We don't, especially the house isn't even in escrow yet. It's like, I don't get paid until this thing closes, which it might never pay it. So like, even on the buy side, like, guys, buyers or sellers, both of you, unless you're paying me $50,000 to do your transaction, I have to have other clients.
Yeah. I have to have a life.
I have to have other clients just to pay my monthly bills and have a decent life. I need to make $500,000 a year. I hope everyone realizes that. Everyone thinks you're balling out. I spend if I made $250,000 a year, I'd be broke.
Because what people don't realize, this is another thing, why I think it is so crucial for a first-time agent to be on a team.
You don't pay for anything.
Yes, and like people be like, oh, the split. Have you sold a house? Well, no. Are you bringing business? No, I'm gonna build that though. But you're not there.
How are you going to build it?
You're not there yet.
And you're going to lose. If I could go back, I lost more deals. Now that I'm around like real teams, not Riverside teams, because Riverside don't have any teams.
We're a team.
I don't count you guys. I still think you guys are mobile.
No, we're Riverside 92518.
The zip code, but
still Riverside.
You're a Moreno Valley team. Anyways, slowly moving into Riverside.
We're getting there, guys.
Slowly,
Watch out.
Okay,
Watch
slowly moving into Riverside.
Yes.
Now I look at teams like that are nationwide, and it is like, holy crap, they're dialed in. Like I would have done 20, 30, 40 more deals if I was that dialed in when I was new in my career. Yeah. Even now, I'm not that dialed in now. Like I look at those things, I'm like, holy crap, they have that, and then this system and that and that. Yeah. So that's the thing, guys. I would say if you're a new agent and you're like, should I be on a team? I shouldn't be on a team. If you are on a team, do not go because they give you Zillow leads, because Zillow leads are very difficult. They make you feel busy, but they don't convert well. Work with someone who's going to teach you how to be a great agent and how to make your own book of business. Right. That is important. Yeah. And when you do escrows, they're there to walk you through an escrow. And
also, here's another thing my mom taught me. Pay for the fucking TC.
Oh, yeah. You should never do your paperwork.
They're
ready for every penny. And so that's the thing that people don't get is, split. Listen, if you never, I'm paying a split right now higher than I've ever paid in my career. But I'm getting the most value I've ever gotten. Yes, I have a cap, so when I cap, I'm done. Right. But I'm literally paying the biggest fees of my life ever. Right. It sucks. When I see 20% taken out of a check, I'm like, holy crap. Where's that 20% going? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I got a deal now that's a referral. So I got to give 20% to my broker, 25% to the broker to refer me the listing. I've worked my butt off on this deal. I've been working on it since January, and I'm going to make like $7,000. Yeah. It's like, what? I was really hoping I was double-ended, but I'm not going to now. But that's what I'm trying to say is like, you're worried about, if you care about money as an agent, how are you going to tell a client to drop their price by $20,000? If you care about money so much, you're so cheap. How do you go to a client and go, you know what? You got to go up $20,000 more on that house. How can you literally tell them that when you don't even want to give up 20% or 40% or 50% on someone who's going to literally do the whole deal for you? Right. Like, that is the crazy. And so you go to do your 3 deals a year. Greed. Well, it's unknown greed. You don't even have any deals yet. I love I'm going to crush it. Great. Good luck. 87% of agents don't make it through their first year. Yeah. 87%. Yeah. 60% of agents don't even do a deal. So why do you think you're going to be above the 87%?
Exactly. That's exactly
on your own.
And it's sad to say. I mean, I would say, 1 in a million will make it, really, because someone will get a hold of them.
That's why I won the lotto. I'm great.
I forgot about you.
You're
won the 1 in a million.
I have won the lotto. I am so blessed. I am so fortunate. I am so lucky. That's why I do this podcast. Hope you know that. Because what other agent in our market would put other agents
on a podcast
on their platform and promote them? No one.
Let me just say this. This is one thing I think is different between myself and other agents that are chasing the money. I always come from a place of, and this is truly, I do mean this when I say this to my clients, I don't do it for the commission. I really don't.
I do.
Great. But I know somebody one time said, you're lying. I don't. Because at the end of the day, if you come from the place of the money, the dollar amount, then it becomes unfulfilling for me, because I don't look at commission on the MLS. People are like, oh, it's a 2% commission only. I'm not going to show it to my client.
I still show those. Yeah.
But it's who gives, I'm telling you, Adam, I promise you, I don't even look at that until I'm in escrow.
Well, I think it doesn't matter. I mean, I check it out just in case, but.
Calculating your commission?
Well, the hard part is, the reason why I have to worry about money is because I have 5 people on staff. Yeah. I have to pay the bills.
Exactly.
And so I know that the more I produce, the more people I can help. Right. Meaning I can do this. I can have Adrian on staff. I can have, Brittany, my assistant, on staff, my graphic designer on staff. I can teach agents how to do the same thing. So for me, it's I have to get bigger, because then the bigger I get, the more people I can help. Right. But I believe, and I live on, because you know how agents are always I'm scared. I don't want to do anything illegal. And I always say this is the number one rule that I live by, if at the end of the day, what I'm doing is the best thing for my client, not what my client wants, what I am doing is best for them, then I will never get in trouble.
Right.
But not what they want me to do, what is best for them. And that is my job to know, and in my experience over all the transactions I've done, to know the pitfalls of a client. Like right now, we actually just got an offer on that listing that I might have to ask a price drop down. It's at $660 and we're at $675, and I know they want $700. And so I'm about to go to them and go, listen, I know you want $700. The market's showing us that we're not going to get that price.
Yeah.
We don't know when we're going to get that price again. So you can roll the dice and hope that we get 700 one day, or we don't.
I would not gamble with this market.
Well, exactly.
I would not gamble.
So that's the thing, and that's just what our job is. But the reason why I go back to what I said before, how I don't care about money, is because I don't care about money. We spend money when we need to spend money. We give up commissions when we get, like, if it's to get something done, I'll throw money in on deals when it needs to get done. But at the end of the day, like, I know that I have to run a business and I have to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
And so that's the difference, is that, like, I think, and the crazy part about it, we're going back to greed. The reason why I'm paying the most I've ever paid, because I am now surrounded around true people, truly, like, really helping me. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I am learning this and this and this, and I'm doing this better. And I'm doing that. Like, I'm going to make more money than I'm going to give them.
Yeah.
They're going to make me more money than I'm going to give to them. That's what people have to really, if you're on the good team, your team lead will give you more money than you will give them.
Yes.
Trust me.
Yes. Like, Steven has been truthfully, like, the most, like, honestly, he has, I mean, I know, I don't even want to say this because if he was walked through the door, his head would not fucking fit. But he really does, you would think he has a huge ego. He doesn't. Because I've been on teams where, like, for instance, the manager needs to be the listing agent on your fucking listing.
I agree.
I have a problem with that.
I do.
I'm estates by, and this is funny, my dad always jokes, you've never sold an estate. I haven't, but I'm manifesting it. I'm estates by Ari. Why am I going to build you? I want to build me.
But the thing I think most teams make the mistake of is it's all about the main person.
Right.
When it's like you're not allowing your team to get the book of business that they would get from their sphere if you help promoted them.
Right.
So the problem is you're losing. I believe team leads, maybe not lose deals, but definitely lose money. You could cut back on your Zillow spending because that's where they all come from. Zillow, HomeLight, all this stuff. And if you paid a videographer to come in your office and force your team to shoot content, not say, whoever wants to come in. No, you're coming in, you're shooting, and that person's making the content for you. You're going to shoot this video. Just like we did earlier. I shot the video, you shoot it now.
Yeah. And
everyone did that. You would get, your team would get more deals than still spending on Zillow.
True. And that's the thing, because, like, honestly, like, Zillow's a great, it's great to have as a fallback, right? But you don't want that to be your main source.
It's too hard.
Yeah,
it's so much work. It's so much running. It's like blind date after blind date after blind date. Like, I hate, like, showing up and not knowing who my client is. Yeah. I'm so over that. Yeah. Like, showing up and being like, are you?
You look like a Reggie. No, I'm Dan.
Yeah.
You know, like,
or they're like, or you're Adam. Like, you're like, oh God, here we go.
But or just the blatant, just, I guess, like, disrespect of some clients. Like, sometimes they don't even show up. Sometimes they can't even text you back.
They have nothing, because the problem is, it's like the people that talk crap on my videos behind, like, on YouTube. I'm like, bro, you wouldn't say that if you met me. Yeah. You wouldn't say that. Just like Zillow buyers, they would not no-show you if they knew who you were. You know, and that's the hard part about being a real estate agent, is being able not to get hardened, or I don't even say hardened probably, like like what people don't understand. I've been burned so many times from clients. Yeah. I have been screwed over by so many clients. I've had clients try to take advantage of me. I've had people call me the biggest dumb effer alive. I'm an idiot. Even though you have no idea how to sell a house. Okay. I think I've proven myself. Yeah. But then you have to be able to shut that off, take a different client 30 seconds later and be like, hey, how are you doing today? Yeah. That switch is a switch that will really separate someone from an average agent to a professional. And you don't realize it, because even though I don't feel like doing something, or I don't feel like calling that lead, or if I don't feel like shooting content because I just got yelled at, I still have to be like, put your big boy panties on and go do it.
Yeah. Like, I mean, honestly, I feel this year for me personally has been a very hard year, and I'm very proud of myself because I have picked myself up, got myself dressed, put on my makeup, went to the office, made my calls, done what I needed to do, and I'm blessed that
You want to make my calls for me?
Fuck no. I don't even want, honestly, I don't even want to make my calls. I'm saying I have to force myself to do it because people will literally tell you on the phone, fuck you.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy, dude? I always just try to remind myself that like I'm just catching that person in a bad moment.
Or I don't have to sleep with you. I don't have to go home to you. Like,
yeah, I just
have a good day.
You know, and the problem is like the hard part is those people, you know why they're yelling at you? Because someone yells at them.
Right.
And whoever's yelling at them, they can't yell back. Their wife, their husband, their boss, their kids. So they have to go and look and take it out on someone.
Right.
And you're just that person to take it out on them.
And for me, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I hope you have a good day. I never let it get to me like that because I always remember I went to some church event or I don't know what it was. Anyways, this the teacher, he told me, he said, you know, when people flip me off when I'm driving, I give them the peace sign. Because it takes more for me to be angry and negative than it does for me to be positive. That always stuck with me. So I'm like, you know what? I could tell them, you know what? Fuck you back. Like, don't talk to me like that. But I don't. Because I'm like, you know what? You never know what people are going through.
For sure. And I think that's the biggest thing is that we are catching someone. That's why I like the way I do business. Because I try to be more when you're ready, call me. You know, because I hate being bothered. So I hate bothering people. Like something I take like I hate getting cold called.
Me too.
I hate it.
Me too.
But I try to be so nice to those people because I am like, dude, their job sucks. Yeah. But it's like that moment in time, I'm so annoyed with this person calling me that it's like I don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the thing. It's all about balance and finding what works for you, doesn't work for you, things like that. Yeah. Like, you know, and it takes time. But in the beginning, you can only get to that point when you built a little bit of book of business. You've kind of found your niche. But in the beginning, you got to go and grind out 40, 50 hours a week, double open houses every single weekend. Yeah. That's what you have to do.
I once heard an agent say, I don't like doing open houses. Well, I've gotten listings from open houses. You know, like why would you not like doing open houses? Again, let's going back to the door hangers. Does anybody really want to do this or like to do this? No. You'll put a freaking clapping hands emoji to my story and ask me, how do I do it? I just fucking do it. I don't think about it.
Do you still give advice?
Me? I find myself drained doing it.
I don't give anymore.
No?
No. I always go and see who they work for. And then I text them back. I say, why don't you just call so-and-so? And they're like, well, yeah, but I'm like, man, I'm sorry. I can't. Like I've gotten to the point right now. I've gotten to the point where it's like, you have two choices. You can pay for an hour call. You can schedule an hour call with me, which is $500 because that's what my daily rate is, $500. Or you come work for me. Other than that, I don't give out free content.
Yeah, it's like your broker's getting a commission for a reason. Yeah. So they need to provide, and that's the thing. Like
they have to provide the value, and if they're not, then why do you work for them anymore? Exactly. And that's why I left the last company I was at. I wasn't taking my own advice. I was like, why am I paying these people when I'm not getting the value in return? They're a great brokerage for other people. They just weren't great for me. They just weren't great for me. And when we left, I said, "You guys are great, just not for me. Right. This doesn't work for me."
Exactly.
And I have to take my own advice to be like, "This isn't working."
Right.
Like I got to go do this. Right. And that's okay. Yeah. Just like with clients. Like you might not want to work with me. My style is different than other people's style. Right. Like I show you a house, I stand by in the kitchen. Just let me know when you're done. I don't follow you around. I don't answer all these questions. Like I just go go do your thing. Let me know when you're done. Maybe you want an agent to open all the doors for you and hold your hand and say, this is a bathroom and this is a kitchen and this is the master bedroom. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe that's who you want. I don't know. If you want that person, I'm not that person.
See, I think I have a little bit of a different approach. Well, when listing a home, like I did an open house yesterday for my listing, and somebody really asked me, they're like, "Is this your house?"
Oh, people ask me all the time.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
but I feel so tied to it because my client bought it, he flipped it, so I feel like I feel some sense of like I'm proud of him, you know.
Maybe because I wear flip flops in my open house. That's why people ask me if it's a.
Oh, you wear flip flops? I don't know. Flip flops and I like. Don't
I wear hats too. To open houses and the listing appointments.
I think hats are the best thing ever.
Yeah, we're hats to listing appointments. It's funny. I have agents that are my age. Like, how do you do that? I'm like, I just do.
Yeah.
I'm like, keep wearing your polo that has Coldwell Banker on it. Nothing has Coldwell Banker. That's the name that keeps coming up.
I heard one thing because when I was in escrow, I did get the pleasure of hearing a lot of these high top producers give advice, and there's this one gentleman who said, all his $1 million like listings, he just treats them like normal people.
They're all the
he
same
literally
thing.
will same thing, show up in flip flops. Yeah. Some people are a little different. Like,
for sure, I had $1 million listing. I had to wear a suit and tie every time I went. But that's what he wanted. Hey, can you wear a suit and tie every time? Yeah, sure. I'll wear a suit and tie every time you want.
Yeah.
But then when I would go over there just to, like, talk to him, I'd show up in flip-flops.
So he wanted you in a suit and tie.
Because I would be there for every showing.
Oh.
So I was there for every showing.
Mm-hmm.
So I would wear that tie, suit and tie every time I went. First I wore a suit, and he goes, I want a tie too. So you know what I said to him? I was like, I don't own that many ties. If you want me to wear a tie, you can buy me one. Bought me a tie.
And he bought you a tie?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know how I got that listing? You want to hear a funny story?
Yeah, I do.
So my team was cold calling back in the day when I had a team, and he got her on the phone. My agent got her on the phone, butter. He calls her back and goes, yeah, you can list my house for $1,000 cash. I was like, okay. So we go down to the house. I go to listing appointment, pull out $1,000 cash, throw it on the table. And I go to like do my spiel. He's like, no. He's like, you're good. He's like, you gave me $1,000 to list my house. You must believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Like, cool. He listed it. We ended up canceling. And he ended up listing with someone else. And then maybe like 6 months later after that, he calls me. I was like, hey, I'd like to rent out my back house. You know, could you help me out with that? How much should you charge? And I was like, I normally charge this. He's like, all right. And so I rent out his back house for him. And then like March 2020, or no, maybe June. And he's like, dude, the market's looking hot. Like, should we try to sell again? I go, yeah, let's sell it. End up double ending it. So we sold it for $995, double ended it. So that $1,000 investment made me just under 50 G's. And what's so crazy about that is that, like, he goes, do you know why I listed again with you? I go, what's that? He goes, you're a deal maker. Mm-hmm. He goes, you didn't sell my house the first time, but you did everything possible to sell that thing. Yeah. You threw cash. You believe in yourself that much, you'll bet on yourself. Yeah. You know, and that's my thing is like, I'll do anything to get a deal. Like I was talking to some agents, I was like, I'll slit your throat. I don't even care. Like we're friends, but if it's me and you, and I see you walk out of the house, I'm going in after you. Oh, it's game on. I'm gonna take you down.
Well, that's the thing. Like that's another piece of advice I'd give anybody. Every single top producer, everyone you know, what is one thing we all have in common? We fucking believe in ourselves.
Yeah, and it's all believing. It's all confidence.
And at the end of the day, are we gamblers in that? Absolutely.
We're all gambling.
Yeah, we're gambling on everything. But every top producer I've met, we just want it that bad. We want it worse than you. And that's just the way it goes.
That's all it comes down to is how bad you want it. And not like how bad you say you want it. Like I had a coming to Jesus moment yesterday with me. I was like, dude, you're not working enough. You're not in the place enough. You're not pushing out enough content. You don't have your systems in place. You're dragging your feet. And like, if I told someone that's how I felt, they'd be like, what? What are you talking about? You push more content than anyone else I know. You have plenty of deals in the pipeline. You're doing this, and this. But like in that, for me personally, I am nowhere close to where I want to be at. Mm-hmm. And so what I do, got up at 4:30 this morning, worked out. Got in the office early, did this. Now I'm shooting this podcast. And I'm gonna probably be here until 8-9 o'clock at night tonight because that's what needs to be done right now.
Yeah, that's just the way it is.
And maybe I'll take a weekend off to go play golf, but I'll work more 8 to 9 hour nights than you'll do in your whole career, and that's the difference. And I'll pay for people to do what I want.
Right.
Like, oh, I'd love to do what you do, but you know, like I don't have a videographer. Blah blah blah. I'm like, I didn't always have a videographer.
Right.
You know, I said, dude, you look back at my old videos, they were terrible. They were bad. They were out of focus, dark, no coloring.
What is your 5-year goal?
Like transactions?
No, I'm talking like I
5 more from here?
5 years. I assume you're not going to want to work at this level in 5 years. You want to work smarter, not harder.
Yeah. So for me, in 5 years, I would be 39. No, technically 40. Matters what time of year. So say I'm 40 years old. By 40. I would like to make like 150 to 200,000 passively, whatever that passive is, if it's real estate or whatever, $200,000 a year. I'd like to be doing the same amount of transactions I'm doing. I don't really want to do more. Yeah. 40 to 50, I'm good with that. It lets me live my life. I would like to have SEAL Team 6. What I mean by SEAL Team 6 is like I don't want 20 agents. I want 6 killers. I want like you have to do 25 deals a year to just even be interviewed. Like I want like people that it's like, oh, that guy's there, you know? And then I want to kind of be the rainmaker to them where it's like, this is the idea we're shooting. Because I think that's something I have done well in my career. I've always kind of been a step ahead of everyone else in this industry or in our market. Not industry, but like in our market. Like I was the first guy to really be on video. I'm the first guy that does a podcast. I'm the first guy that has a touchscreen whiteboard, like, and some other systems we have in place. So for me, that's what makes me happy. I like shooting the video that no one's ever thought about shooting. So for me, I'd like to be at that point. I'd like to have a coaching program by then. I would like to have more money coming in from YouTube. I'd like to own a house. That's about it. See, I don't want to do any more deals. That's the thing that people don't get. Like, I don't want to do 80 to 100 deals myself. Like, that just sounds awful to me.
That sounds exhausting.
Like,
that sounds like you don't have a life.
Dude, it's like, I mean, like, I hang out with, like, Dan Beer and Kyle last weekend, and they're doing $700 to $800 million in sales. So probably, probably like 900 transactions, maybe 1,000 transactions. Like, what it takes to do 1,000 transactions. Like, I saw his whole staff team. I'm like, holy crap. Like, this is something that I don't even know if I'm meant. Like, I don't even know if I have the ability to take that on.
Yeah. Again, sacrifice.
Exactly. Do I want to sacrifice that much to get there? I don't think I do.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if I'm even the guy. I don't think I have the skill set to even do it. Like, I don't know if I have that skill set to be that diligent and that cranking numbers or whatever it is. Like, I don't know if I even have that in me.
Right.
Like, I think that's the thing too. Does that fit your strengths or not? Like, I'd like to have a business partner I'd like to have a business partner by the end of the year. I really want to find someone I can team up with, because everyone I've noticed, they all have a partner somewhere or another. I think having a good business partner is important for anyone. Like, even agents inside of a team, if you get big enough, sooner I think you should have a business partner, because you want that person to be like the different than you, so then you guys can kind of feed off of each other.
Right.
Because I mean, everyone I know who's successful all have a business partner.
Yeah, that's
It's impossible
true.
to do it on your own.
That's true. That's true.
That's why successful people want people around them. Non-successful people don't want anyone around them. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's honestly, like they say, it is lonely at the top. It is very lonely at the top, because at the end of the day, like I said, they're ridding your circle of negative people that
it's tired.
It is tiring, because it's like they just don't get what, like, hey, I can't go out because I have an open house in the morning.
I gotta work tomorrow.
So I can't, do the X, Y, and Z. I can't go party with you, drink all night. But I mean, even though a lot of realtors, we do it. Yeah. Sometimes we be showing up to the open house a little hungover.
I have been too. But I always say, like, the analogy is that in life, we both can go to Vegas. The difference is I want the penthouse, and you're going to be staying at the Tropicana, walking on the strip, drinking a drink you bought at the 7-Eleven. We're both in Vegas, but our experience are two totally different things.
Right.
And I'll make the sacrifices so I can go to Vegas once a year.
Yeah.
And you'll go every other weekend.
Yeah.
And I'll take my 1 experience times your 10 experience.
Right.
And I think that's the difference right there, is that you have to give up some experience to get a better experience.
But I think the sad part about that is, and this is like, a lot of people only think and see on a surface level. They don't understand, like, they'll get really upset. I've had people hate me, and I'm like, why? Like, I've never done anything to you. Like, when I worked in escrow, that was one of the big reasons that pushed me. I always got a lot of hate because I was an escrow rep, and I still did really well I was doing the files myself, and I would get a lot of hate, and it was always from older women. And I just had to sit back and ask, I don't know what it is. It has, like, jealousy. I've never done anything to you, but people will literally hate when they start seeing you elevate yourself.
Of course.
And those people, they're not your fans anyways. So you know what I do? Block, delete. I don't need you to see what I'm doing. Like, you're not a fan anyways.
I block a lot of people in this industry.
Same. I went on an Instagram cleanse the other day, and it felt great because it was just people who maybe they're not negative people. They just brought me negative energy, and I don't need that. I'm good. Like, I'm good, love. Like, we don't need to be friends.
It's very difficult. It's funny, but it's not as easy as everyone thinks it is. It's not. There's no magic sauce to it either. It's like even just way like how people talk to people or your thoughts or how you angle things. And the only way you'll ever know it is if you're around the people that are successful, and then you have to be very conscious how they talk and what they do and how all those things they do. It's like, that is why you have to be around successful people, because just being around them, you start picking up tendencies that they do that, oh, that's how he answers that question. Just even like, hey, we need to do a price drop too. We need to do a price adjustment, or here's the contract, or here's the agreement. Like, just saying the words, like in the beginning you ask, do you have any questions before I get started? Instead of at the end asking, do you have any questions? Like at the beginning you ask, at the end it's, all right, now here's the agreement. Let's sign. Yeah. Like things like that, you're like, holy fuck, like I'm saying the same thing, but in a different order, and that different order is causing me more problems. Yeah. And I wouldn't even known that if it wasn't for my coaching call today. So
actually, funny story about that. have a client that Steven sold his house, and I'm getting him a replacement. And I asked him, I was like, oh, I was, of course, pumping Steven up. I'm like, oh, you were in good hands. He's like, you know what? Honestly, he said, it was okay. And he said, but the thing I love about Steven is, he said, everything he said was with conviction.
Yeah.
And he believed that. And that is half the battle. I could say the dumbest shit ever, and I'll be so confident. One time, I tried to convince my coworkers that stopwalks, they only go off when you press the button. But I said it so confidently, and they're standing there literally about to go all the way around, and guess what goes off? The fucking stopwalk. And I'm like, I thought that, I believed it myself. So that's what goes into it. Like, if you believe what you're saying,
for sure,
you can sell anything.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, you know, because what people don't understand is people are gonna be stressed out in this industry, or clients are. It's very stressful, guys. So they just want to work with that person. Where like, there's times I literally call a client, I'm like, everything's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
And they're like, thank you. Like, that's all they want to hear. Everything is gonna be all right.
It is.
We will get you through this. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. Yeah, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. All right. You all right? Yeah. Nervous. Don't worry. I do this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get you through it. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
And that's the calmingness that people don't get. It's like when agents are freaking out on transaction. It's like if you're freaking out and your client's freaking out and the listing agent or the lender's freaking out, the deal's dead because you guys are all freaking out. It's our job to control everyone's emotions.
Right.
Everything's okay. That, you know, because I've had times where sellers are like, the buyer hates me. He doesn't know you. The seller hates me. They don't even know you.
Yeah.
They don't care about you. They take it personal.
Yes.
Or when someone like, we hate the house. Oh my God. It's like, they don't even know you. It's not nothing to you. It's the house.
Yeah.
They don't like the house.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll find someone that does.
People are really, I often find people don't know how to take criticism.
Of course.
They don't. And that's another thing too in this business. Be coachable.
Yeah.
Be able to take criticism. Be like, you know what? I maybe shouldn't have said it that way. Or maybe I should have done it this way, or whatever the case may be. But be able to, you know, be able to grow.
Yeah.
Because you will not grow if you're not willing to listen to what you've done wrong.
Well, that's what I said before the podcast. That's why when I say someone's stupid, I just want the same thing from other people.
Okay. But you say people are stupid.
Yeah.
But what you really mean to say is, maybe you're not making a favorable decision. You're acting stupid.
No, they're stupid. Right? Because here's the thing. I say that at no moment in time they can try to defend their thoughts.
Yeah.
Right? That's the problem that we do. When you nicely tell someone something,
Yeah.
they then go, okay, well, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But if I go, you're being dumb.
Yeah.
How do you work around that?
Yeah.
Or you're stupid. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you're being stupid. I'm not saying you're actually stupid. You're probably a smart person. But this decision you're trying to make is dumb. You're dumb.
Yeah.
But
you're being dumb in it.
You're being, or like, you're lazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Maybe you are an idiot. But the thing is like, you know why I don't care is because I would want someone to call me an idiot.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that is the thing. I say it, but I would want you to, like, because if I was doing something and you were like, well, you know, it's probably not the best decision. And I've had people go like, you're being an idiot. I'm like, you know what? I know I'm being an idiot and I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
You know what? I would love for someone to say that to me. I do that all the time. People go like, you're an idiot for doing that. You know what? I know I'm an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a terrible idea that I'm doing this, but I'm still going to do it because I want to.
Exactly.
So as a human, if you're like doing something and someone calls you an idiot or it says you're stupid, be like, I know I'm stupid. I still want to do it. Okay.
The thing is, I learned to take what people have to say with a grain of salt, because just because somebody thinks in their head that that's what they feel is the right decision for you,
it's not always the right decision.
No, it's not. Like that, it is true. Like it's your life. I always ask people, what do you feel about the decision you're making? And they'll tell me, oh, I feel good. Then what else?
And who cares?
Who fucking cares?
Stop asking everyone's opinion because you don't want to listen to it anyways.
Exactly. It's like when you go to a restaurant and you ask the waiter, oh, should I get this or this? And you already feel in your head that you're going to get the fettuccine. Mm-hmm. And they say, you should get the lasagna.
I'm going to get the fettuccine.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Like, how dumb do you feel in that moment? Just don't even ask. Just fucking order the fettuccine. Like,
order what you want to order. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? It's not that big of a deal. And at the end of the day, what people need to realize is, at the end of the day, none of this matters.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to make so many bad decisions. Just don't kill anyone.
Yeah.
And go to jail.
Facts.
And you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Everyone, I know so many people that live great lives and they've all filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
I know so many people that have filed for bankruptcy and they live a great life.
Yeah.
You look at them now, you'd have no idea they filed bankruptcy. No clue.
Quicksilver. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
they're still up, but because that was one of my first jobs was Quicksilver. And at the time, they were opening a liquidation store in Moreno Valley.
Oh,
they
yeah.
said Riverside, which it was technically Riverside.
I remember that one,
Yep. Yeah. So I went there and I was like, what the fuck? So I heard that they had filed bankruptcy.
Yeah.
They're still Quicksilver. So
that's what they're trying to say. No one cares. It's like going to the gym. No one's staring at you. Trust me. Unless you drop a weight on your foot, no one's going to pay attention to you. Okay? I want to let everyone know that. The hottest chick in there probably has the lowest confidence, just
Absolutely.
so you know.
Yeah.
I think, and that's the thing, too, is like you just got to not care.
Right.
Everyone cares, and that's the problem, because everyone cares, because we care what our parents think about us, we care what our friends think about us, we care what our family thinks about us, they care about our clients, we make all our decisions based off what people care, and we make the decisions off what people care about, right? Like the person always has to have the nicest car, like that's what important. What car they drive is the most. The person wants the biggest house. That's how they care that people judge them when they show up to this house. How's their or their clothes or watches or whatever. Gary Vee said this on a podcast the other day. He said, "I follow what people buy, not what they say." That will always tell me where the trends are going. Just what people will buy.
But even like for instance, like even when people say they buy like, oh, this Gucci bag, 9 times out of 10 they're Fucci bags. Nothing's wrong with that, but own it.
Because they don't have the money for real Gucci.
But that's what I'm saying. But they'll act like it's real
because
shit.
they want to flex. But no one cares.
Again,
that it's fake.
back to living
just live your own life.
A lie.
You know, I think that's the thing. Just live your own life, and the sooner you can live your life will be easier for you.
I agree. I 100% agree. Like, free yourself of any of that fakeness. You know, that's one thing I can't stand is fake people. I see right through it. I'm just like, how do you even sleep at night? Like, do you have to like unzip your like skin that you're wearing? Because that's not who you are. Like, I know people that I know for a fact they didn't come from money. I know for a fact they didn't come from money. And then you'll see them all on Instagram like flexing their, watches and all this shit.
Stupid.
I'm like, dude, like that's not gonna make me want to work. Exactly. That's not gonna make me want to work with you.
Oh,
that's
especially agents that do that. Listen, agents. No one cares how much money you make. I hope everyone knows that. No one cares. In our market, LA, probably different.
Yeah, LA
New York,
is different.
probably, it matters what car you drive. I drove a cargo van for 3 years, and I did more deals than ever. No one cares.
I saw it for sale.
I sold it.
I know. It was
but
like
that's what I'm saying.
A lot.
I sold of my van. I drove a cargo, a Sprinter van for 3 years. And no one cared. My clients did. I sold a $995,000 house in a cargo van. No one cared. No one.
Yeah.
So when you think you got to have the Benzie and the suits and the watches and all that stuff, no one cares. It, honestly, in this market, might be worse. People are like, you know what? I don't really want to work with that guy. He drives like a $300,000 car, $250,000. He rocks this, blah, blah, blah. I don't think I want to work with him. I don't know. I've had clients like that. I asked them, like, hey, if I drove a really nice car, would you work with me? No, because they don't want to, because I get heat for that sometimes. Like, oh, well, that car is more expensive than my,
But people who have money, they don't need to flex it, and that's what I was getting to is.
Yeah, no one cares.
They don't care. Like, truly, if you have money, then live your life.
There's a lot of old school money in Riverside.
There is, and you would never know.
Never know it.
Never know it.
You sit across them, and they're at Denny's at 4:30 to get the special.
Yeah, for like so I used to show horses when I was younger, and Michael Dell from Dell Computers, his daughter shows, and I remember this very distinctly. I was sitting down one day, and he was literally right in front of me, wearing just a Tommy Bahama shirt. Didn't even know it was him until I saw his wife's ring.
That was huge.
I was like, I wouldn't even wear that. You're gonna get your hand cut, girl. But you wouldn't. Long story short, he's a billionaire, but you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. People just need to be more humble, and I think that's the difference between, because the agents that aren't, or they're out there, they're flexing. Like, I hate to say this, but they will not make it when the market shifts.
Oh yeah, because you got to pay all those bills, because they're not paying cash for those things. That's all finance. So. That's all finance.
Yeah.
And what people don't get is, if you built your whatever on that, when that is gone, then who are you?
Exactly. And who's going to be around you when the shit hits the fan?
Yeah, for sure. So, well, thank you so much for coming on. I got to get back to work. I'm a real estate agent. I'm going to go play it for today. So, thanks for coming on. It was enjoyable. You know, now I have your brother's gonna hit me up, being like, "Oh, bro, you had my sister on, and now me." And
he's
then
gonna be jealous.
then he's gonna be like, "Oh, well, you have the best Andre on there for me." Sorry, dude, if I'm making fun of you, but it's true. So, and she's laughing because she knows it's true. Yeah. So.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Of course.
It.
Of course. Till next time, guys. Peace.
Bye.